and gentlemen, welcome to Randolph College's production of Mother Courage and Her Children. There will be a 15-minute intermission and, more importantly, live firearms. At this time, we would like to ask you to take out your cell phones, turn them off, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Mother Courage and her wagon. Hey, Captain, let them come and buy beer by the keg, wine by the flagon, that shoremen drink before they die. Sabers and swords are hard to swallow. First you must give them beer to drink, then they can face what is to follow. But let them swim before they sink. Awake, the winter's gone, the snows depart, the dead sleep on, and though you may not long survive, get out of bed and look alive! Your men will march till they are dead, sir, but cannot fight unless they eat. The blood they spill for you is red, sir. What buys that blood is my red meat. For meat and soup and jam and jelly, in this old car of mine are found. So fill that hole up in your belly before you fill one underground. Christians awake, the winter's gone, the snows depart, the dead sleep on, and though you may not long survive, get out of bed and look alive!
Spring 1624. In Dalarna, the Swedish king Gustavus is recruiting for his campaign in Poland. The canteen woman Anna Fearling, commonly known as Mother Courage, loses a son. Highway outside of town, a top sergeant and a recruiting officer stand shivering.
How the hell can you line up a squadron in this place? You know what I keep thinking about, Sergeant? Suicide. I'm supposed to slap 4 platoons together by the 12th. 4 platoons the chief's asking for. And they're so friendly around here that I'm scared to sleep nights. Suppose I do get my hands on some character and squint at him so I don't notice he's chicken-breasted with varicose veins. I take him out for a few drinks to get him nice and relaxed, and he signs on the dotted line. I go to pay for the drinks while he steps outside for a minute, and I get a hunch I should follow him. Am I right? Off he shot like a louse from a scratch. You can't take a man's word anymore, Sergeant. There's no loyalty left in the world, no honor, no sense of trust. I'm losing my confidence in mankind, Sergeant.
What they could use around here is a good war. What else can you expect when peace running wild all over the place? You know what the trouble with peace is? No organization. When do you get organization? In a war. Peace is one big waste of equipment. Anything goes, no one gives a damn. See the way they eat? Cheese on rye, bacon on the cheese. Disgusting. How many horses they got in this town? How many young men? Nobody knows. They haven't bothered to count them. The peace for you. I've been places where they haven't had a war for 70 years, and you know what? The people can remember their names. They don't know who they are. It takes a war to fix that. In a war, everyone registers. Everyone's name's on the list. Their shoes are stacked. Their corn in the back. You count it all up. Cattle, men, etc. And you take them away. That's the story. No organization, no war.
What's the God's truth?
Of course, a war is like every real good deal. Hard to get going. But when it's on the road, it's a pisser. Everybody's scared of peace. Like a crap shooter that keeps failing to cover his loss. Of course, until it gets going, everybody's scared of war. Afraid to try anything new.
Look, a wagon! 2 women and a couple of young punks. Stop them, Sergeant. If there's nothing doing this time, you won't catch me freezing my ass off in the April wind. Good day to you, Sergeant.
Good day. Who do you think you are?
Tradespeople.
Halt! Where are you from, riffraff?
2nd Protestant Regiment.
And where are your papers?
Papers?
But this is Mother Courage.
Never heard of her. Where did she get a name like that?
In Riga.
They call her Mother Courage because she drove the bombardment of Riga with 50 loaves of bread in her wagon.
They were going moldy. I couldn't help myself.
No funny business. Where are your papers?
Here, Sergeant. Here's a whole Bible I got in Alsting to wrap my cucumbers in. Here's a map of Moravia. God knows how I'll ever get there. And here's a document saying my horse hasn't got hoof and mouth disease. Too bad he died on us. He cost 15 guilders. Thank God I didn't pay it. Is that enough paper?
Oh, are you making a pass at me? Well, you've got another guest coming. You must have a license, and you know it.
Show a little respect for a lady, and don't go telling these grown children of mine I'm making a pass at you. What would I want with you? My license in the 2nd Protestant Regiment is an honest face, even if you wouldn't know how to read it. What we have on our hands here, Sergeant, is a case of insubordination. Do you know what we need in the Army? Discipline. I was going to say sausages.
Nay.
Honor Fearling.
So you're all feelings,
I was talking about me.
and I was talking about your children.
Must they all have the same name? This boy, for instance, I call him Aleph Noyoki. He got the name from his father, who told me he was called Koyoki. Or was it Moryoki? Anyhow, the lad remembers him to this day. Only the man he remembers is someone else, a Frenchman with a pointed beard. He certainly has his father's brains, though. That man could whip the pants off a farmer's behind before he could turn around. So we all have our own names.
So you all call something different?
Are you pretending you don't get it?
He's Chinese, I suppose.
Wrong again. A Swiss.
After the Frenchman?
Frenchman? What Frenchman? He's a Swiss, but he happens to be called Phaeus, a name that has nothing to do with his father, who was called something else. A military engineer, if you please, and a drunkard.
Then how come his name fails?
Oh, Sergeant, you have no imagination. Of course he's called Phaeus. When he came, I was with a Hungarian. He didn't mind much. He had a floating kidney, though he never touched a drop. He was a very honest man. The boy takes after him.
But that wasn't his father.
I said he took after him. I call him Swiss cheese. And this is my daughter, Katrin Haft. She's half German.
A nice family, I must say.
And we've seen the whole wide world together, this wagon load and me.
We'll need all that in writing.
So, you two are the oxen for the wagon? Do they ever let you out of harness?
Mother, may I smack him in the puss?
You stay where you are. And now, gentlemen, how about a pair of pistols? Or a new belt? Sergeant, yours is worn clean through.
It's of yours as straight as birch trees. What are such fine specimens doing out of the army?
The soldier's life is not for sons of mine. And why not? It means money, it means fame. Peddling shoes is woman's work. Step this way and let's see if that's muscle or chicken fat. It's chicken fat. Give him a good hard look and he'll fall right over. Well, I hope he doesn't fall on me, that's all. Let him alone. He's not for you. He called my face a puss. That is an insult, and the two of us will now go settle it on the field of honor.
Don't worry, Mother. I can handle him.
You stay where you are. You are never happy till you're in a fight. He has a knife in his boot, and he knows how to use it. Well, I'll draw it out of him like a milk tube. Come on, young fellow. Officer, I'll report you to the colonel, and he'll throw you in jail. His lieutenant is courting my daughter.
Go easy. What have you got against the service? Wasn't his own father a soldier? Didn't you say he died a soldier's death?
He's dead, all right. This one's just a baby. You'll lead him like a lamb to the slaughter. I know you. You'll get 5 guilders for him. First thing you know, you'll have a new hat and high boots. How about it?
Not from you, thanks.
Let's you and me go fishing, said the angler to the worm. Run and tell everyone they're trying to steal your brother. Yes, just you try and I will cut you down like dogs. We sell cloth. We sell ham. We are peaceful people.
Oh, you are peaceful, right? Your gum proves that. Now, tell me, how do we fight a war without soldiers?
Do they have to be mine?
So that's the trouble. The war should swallow the pit and spit out the peach, huh? Call yourself Mother Courage and get scared of war. Your songs sound scared. I know that much.
No war can scare me.
Of course not. Take me. A soldier's life haven't done me any harm. I enlisted at 17.
You haven't reached 70.
Oh, I will. Oh.
Above ground?
You trying to rile me, telling me that I'll die?
Suppose I know it's the truth. Suppose I see it's your fate. Suppose I know you're just a corpse on furlough.
She can see into the future. Everyone says so.
By all means, look into the sergeant's future. It may amuse him.
Oh, I don't believe in that stuff.
Helmet!
Anything for life.
Aleph, Katrin, Swiss cheese. So shall we all be torn asunder if we let ourselves get too deep into this war. I'll give you the bargain rate and do it for free. Watch. Death is black, so I draw a black cross.
And the other she leaves blank, see?
I fold them up, put them in the helmet, and mix them around. The way we're all mixed up from our mother's womb on. Now draw. I don't take just anybody. I'm choosy. You've got guts and I like that.
It's a lot of crap.
The Black Cross! Oh, his number's up!
You cheated me!
You cheated yourself the day you enlisted. And now we must drive on. There isn't a war every day in the week.
Hell, you are not getting away with this. We are taking that bastard of yours with us.
I like that, Mother.
Why did you finish W?
Swiss cheese wants to be a soldier, too.
That's news to me. I see I'll have to draw lots for all 3 of you. Look, I know people have been saying that the Swedish soldier is religious, and that kind of talk has sure hurt us a lot. It's only one verse of hymn every Sunday, and then only if you have a voice. So they desert their old mother, would they? The rascals. They take to war like a cat to cream. Well, there's yours, Aleph, my boy. See? A cross. If you're gonna wet your pants, I'll try your kid brother. You should be a better bet, Swiss cheese. You're my good boy. Don't tell me it's a black cross.
Uh-huh.
Is there no saving you either?
Uh-uh.
Just look, Sergeant, a black cross.
What I don't see is why I got one. I always stay well in the rear. It cannot be fair against your own children.
Now all I have left is you. You're a cross in yourself, but you have a kind heart. There must be some mistake. Don't be too kind, Katrin. Don't be too kind. There's a cross in your path, too.
out here. I'll go look at it behind the wagon.
Doesn't seem windy to me.
Maybe it was half a guilder. There's silver on it.
A solid 6 ounces worth. I'll even give you some cash in advance. How about it? Half a guilder then, quick.
What I still don't see is why I have to draw a cross. As I told you, I always stay well in the rear. That's the only place that's safe. Anyway, Mother Courage, you've ruined my afternoon.
Oh, you mustn't say so.
Oh.
Here,
Ooh.
take a shot and keep right on staying in the rear. Half a guilder. 20 guilders in advance and you're a soldier of the king. The women will go crazy about you. And you can smack me in the puss since I insulted you. Coming, Captain, coming. The sergeant has changed his bill. All money is half the bargain, but your half guilder's good. Let's go. Where's Aleph?
Gone with the recruiting officer.
Oh, you simpleton! You can't speak. You couldn't tell me.
That's life, Mother Courage. Take a shot yourself.
You must help your brother now, Katrin.
And a war gives you what you earn. One day may claim something in return.
In the years 1625 and 1626, Mother Courage journeys in the baggage train of the Swedish army. She meets her brave son again before Valhof Castle. Of the successful sale of a capon and grand days for the brave son. The tent of the Swedish commander and the kitchen next to it. Sound of cannon!
Boom!
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 In the kitchen, Mother Courage and the cook. The cook has a Dutch accent.
60 hammers for that poultry piece of poultry.
Poultry! He's the fattest fowl you ever saw. I could get 60 hellers for him. This commander can eat.
There are 10 hellers a dozen on every street corner.
A capon like that on every street corner. With the city in siege and people all skin and bones, maybe you can find a field rat someplace. I say maybe because we're all out of them, too. All right, then. In a siege, my price for this giant capon is 50 hellers.
We're doing the besieging. It's the other side that's in a siege.
A fat lot of difference that makes. We haven't a thing either. Just look at the farmers around here. They haven't a thing.
Sure they have. They hide it.
They haven't a thing. They're ruined. They're so hungry they dig up roots to eat. I could boil that leather belt of yours and make their mouths water with it. And I'm supposed to let a capon go for 40 hellers.
30. I said 30 hellers.
I know your problem. If you don't find something to eat and quick, the commander will cut your fat head off.
Look. Here's a piece of beef. I'm going to roast it. I give you one more chance.
Roast it. Go ahead. It's only 12 months old.
12 hours old. Why, only yesterday it was a cow. I saw it running around.
Then it must have started stinking before it died.
I'll cook it for 5 hours if I have to.
Put plenty of pepper in.
In your commander's tent you go, Aleph, my son. Sit at my right hand. Well done, good and faithful servant. You've played the hero in God's own war, and you'll get a gold bracelet out of it yet, if I have anything to say in the matter. We come to save their souls, and what do they do? The filthy, irreligious sons of bitches try to hide their cattle from us, meanwhile stuffing beef into priests in both ends. But you showed them, so here's a can of red wine for you. We'll both drink. The chaplain gets the dregs, he's so pious. And now, my hearty, what would you like for dinner?
How about a slice of meat? Nothing to eat, so he brings company to eat it.
Cook! Meat! Tires you out. Skinny peasants.
Gives you an appetite.
Dear God, it's my Aleph.
Who?
My eldest. It's 2 years since I saw him. He must be high in favor. The commander inviting him to dinner? And what do you have to eat? Nothing. The commander's guest wants meat. Take my advice. Buy the capon. The price is 100 hellers.
Dinner, you pig, or I'll have your head.
This is blackmail. Give me the damn thing.
Oh, a paltry piece of poultry like this.
You were right. Now give it here. This is highway robbery. 50 hellers.
100 hellers. No price is too high for commander's guest of honor.
Well, you might at least plug the wretched thing till I have a fire, boy.
I can't wait to see his face when he sees me.
Another glass, my son. It's my favorite Florinian. There's only one king left in the world, but it's worth it to meet a soldier who still believes in God. Our chaplain here only preaches. He doesn't have a clue how to get things done. And now, Aelif, my boy, tell us how you fixed the peasants and caught the 20 bullocks.
It was like this. I found out the peasants had hidden the oxen in a certain wood. The people from the town were to pick them up there. So I let them go for their oxen in peace. They should know better than me where they are, I said to myself. Meanwhile, I made my men crazy for meat. Their rations were short already, and I made sure they got shorter. They made a murderous attack on us. Four of them drove me to a clump of trees, knocked my hand from my sword, and screamed, "Surrender!" What now? I said to myself. They'll make mincemeat of me.
Smart kid.
Not bad. The rest was a snap. I laughed.
You what?
I laughed. And so we got to talking. I came right down to business and said, 20 goes and ox is too much. I bid 15. Like I wanted to buy that fox though. So while they were scratching their heads, I reached for my good sword and cut the ribbons. Necessity knows no law, huh?
What do you say, keeper of souls?
Strictly speaking, that saying's not in the Bible. Our Lord made 500 loaves out of 5, so that no necessity should arise. So when he asked men to love their neighbors, their bellies were full. Things have changed since his day.
Things have changed. Some wine for those wise words, you old Pharisee. Aelif, my boy, you cut them to ribbons in a great cause. As for our friends, they were hungry, and you gave them to eat. You don't know how I admire a brave soldier such as yourself. Let's take a look at our position. It isn't all it might be.
He must be a very bad commander, this fellow.
Just a greedy one. Why bad?
He says he needs brave soldiers. If his plan of campaign was any good, wouldn't plain, ordinary soldiers do? Bravery. In a good country, such virtues wouldn't be needed. We could all be cowards and relax.
I bet your father was a soldier.
A very great soldier. My mother warned me about it in a little song.
Sing it. Bring that meat!
It's called The Fishwife and the Soldier. To a soldier lad comes an old fishwife, and the old fishwife says she, the young are young, the old are wise, you'll drown if you fall in the sea. Keep away from the ice if you want my advice, says the old fishwife, says she. But gun in hand and knife at side, the soldier steps into the tide. It's the life of a hero for me.
With gun in hand and knife at side, the lad is swept out by the tide. He floats with the ice in the sea.
And the new moon is shining on shingle roofs white, but the lad and his laughter are lost in the night. He floats with the ice in the sea.
What goes on in my kitchen?
You
The
liar!
liberty they take nowadays.
Where are the others?
Happy as ducks in a pond, Swiss cheese is paymaster with the 2nd Protestant Regiment.
Paymaster, eh?
At least he isn't in the fighting.
How your feet holding up?
Oh, I have a little trouble getting my boots on in the morning.
So, you're his mother. Hopefully I have more young soldiers like this one for me.
If I'm not the lucky one, to be the commander's guest while you sit listening in the kitchen.
I heard you all right.
Because I took the oxen.
No, because you didn't surrender when the 4 peasants tried to make mincemeat out of you. Didn't I teach you to take care of yourself? You finished W.
3 years pass, and Mother Courage, with parts of a Finnish regiment, is taken prisoner. Her wagon is saved, her daughter likewise, but her honest son dies. A camp. The regimental flag is flying from a pole. Afternoon. A clothesline stretches from the wagon at one end to a cabin at the other. Mother Courage is folding her wash on the wagon. At the same time, she bargains with an ordnance officer over a box of bullets. Swiss Cheese, in his paymaster's uniform, looks on. And Yvette Potier, a very good-looking young person, sits nearby, a bottle of brandy beside her. Her red boots are nearby. She is in stocking feet.
I'm letting you have these bullets for 2 guilders. Dirt cheap, because I need the money. The colonel's been drinking for the past 3 days, and we're out of liquor.
They're army property. If they find them here, I'll be court-martialed. You sell your bullets, you bastards, and then send your men out to fight with nothing to shoot with.
If you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
I won't touch army stuff. Not at those prices.
You can resell them for 5 guilders, maybe 8, to the ordnance officer of the 4th Regiment. All you need to do is give him a receipt for 12. He hasn't a bullet left.
Why don't you do it yourself?
I don't trust him. We're friends.
Take him around the back and pay him a guilder and a half.
What?
A guilder and a half. Here's your underwear, Swiss cheese. Take good care of it. It's autumn. Winter may come at any time. I don't say it must, but it may. Nothing must come, not even the seasons. Only your books must balance. Do your books balance, Mr. Paymaster?
Yes, Mother.
Remember they made you paymaster because you're honest and so simple you'd never think of running off the cash box. Take good care of that underwear.
Yes, Mother. I'll put it under the mattress.
I'll go with you, Paymaster.
Don't teach him any finagling.
You might at least say goodbye.
I don't like that. He's no company for my Swiss cheese. But the war's not made a bad start. If I look ahead and make no mistakes, business will be good. Don't you know you shouldn't be drinking in the morning with your sickness and all?
Who says I'm sick? That's a libel.
They all say so.
Then they're all liars. I'm desperate, Mother Courage. They're all avoiding me because of those lies. So what am I sewing this hat for? That's why I drink in the morning. It gives you crow's beef. So what? But prizing for the likes of us, you eat dirt or down you go.
Don't start in again about your friend Peter Piper and how it all happened in front of my innocent daughter.
She's the one who should hear it, so she'll get hardened against love.
That's something no one ever gets hardened against.
He was an army cook, Dutch and thin. Katrin, beware of thin men.
I didn't.
I even know he had another girl before me, and she called him Peter Piper because he never took his pipe out of his mouth, even in bed.
Scarce 17 was I when the foe came to our land
And laid aside his saber and took me by the hand. And we performed by day
lesson to you, Katrin. Never start anything with a soldier. Oh yes, love does seem heaven-born. They'll say they worship the ground under your feet. Did you wash them yesterday while on the subject? Then if you don't look out, you're their slave for life.
Mother Courage! I bring a message from your son, Aelin. The cook came with me.
Oh.
You've made an impression on him.
I thought I'd get a little whiff of the breeze.
You're welcome to it. But what does Aelin want? I don't have any money.
My message is for his brother, the paymaster.
He's not here. He's not anywhere. Look, he's not his brother's paymaster, and I won't have him led into temptation. Give him this. But it's a sin. He's speculating in mother love.
Maybe not for long. How do you know he'll come back alive? You're hard, you woman. A glass of brandy wouldn't cost you much. But no, you say no. And 6 feet under goes your man.
My dear cook, you talk as if dying for one's beliefs were a misfortune. It is the highest privilege. After all, this isn't just any war. It's a religious war, and therefore pleasing unto God.
I see that. In one sense, it's a war because of all the cheating, plunder, rape, and so forth. But it's different from all other wars because it's a religious war and therefore pleasing unto God. And that it makes you thirsty.
He says you bewitched him. He says he dreams about you.
Innocent, innocent dreams. I dream of a fair lady dispensing brandy. Stop embarrassing me. The stories you've been telling me along the way still have me blushing.
I must get you two something to drink, or you'll be making improper advances out of sheer boredom.
That is indeed a temptation, said the court chaplain as he gave way to it. And who is this captivating young person?
This is not a captivating young person. This is a respectable young person. The trouble with Poland is the Poles. It's true our Swedish king moved in on them, but instead of maintaining the peace, they would keep interfering. So their blood is on their own heads, I say.
Anyway, since the German Kaiser had enslaved them, King Gustavus had no alternative but to liberate them.
Just what I always say. Your brandy, Mrs. Fearley, is first rate. I'm never mistaken in a face. This war is a religious war. A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. Our helper he amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing. Satan, our ancient foe, doth seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. On earth is not his equal. And King Gustavus liberated Poland from the Germans. Who could deny it? Then his appetite grew with eating, and he liberated Germany from the Germans. Made quite a profit on the deal, I'm told.
That is a calumny. The Swedish king puts religion first.
What's more, you eat his bread.
I don't eat his bread. I bake his bread.
That man will never be conquered, and you know why? Because we back him up, the little fellows like you and me. Oh yes, to hear the big fellows, they're fighting for their beliefs and so on. But if you look into it, you find they're not that silly. They do want to make a profit on the deal. So you and I back them up.
Surely.
And as a Dutchman, you do well to look which flag is flying here.
To our Protestant flag.
A toast.
Hey, let me get my watch on my gun.
Surprise attack! The Catholics! We don't know if we can get away! Bring that gun!
Good God! I must go to the commander! Mother Courage, I'll be back soon! For a short conversation!
Hey, you're leaving your pipe.
Keep it for me! I'll need it!
This wouldn't happen just for making money.
Blessed are the peacemakers. A good slogan for wartime. Anyway, I must be going too.
3 days later, Mother Courage, the chaplain, Catherine, and Swiss cheese sit eating anxiously.
This is the third day we've sat doing nothing. The sergeant has always been patient with me. But by now he must be asking himself, now where is Swiss cheese with that cash box?
Be glad they're not on the trail.
What about me? I can't even hold service here. It's written, out of the abundance of the heart, the tongue speaketh. But woe is me if my tongue speaketh.
So here you sit, one with his religion, the other with his cash box. I don't know which is more dangerous.
We're in God's hands now.
Oh, I hope we're not as desperate as that. Though it is hard to sleep at night. It'd be easier if you weren't here, Swiss cheese. All the same, I've not done poorly.
The milk is good. As for the quantity, we may have to reduce our Swedish appetites somewhat. We are defeated.
Who's defeated? There have been cases where defeat is a victory for the little fellows. It's only their honor that's lost, nothing serious. At that, either victory or defeat can be a costly business. The best thing, I say, is for the politics to sort of get stuck in the mud. Eat.
I don't like it. How will the sergeant pay the men?
Soldiers in flight don't get paid.
And they should refuse to flee. No pay, no flight.
Swiss cheese, I brought you up honest because you're not very bright, but don't overdo it. And now the chaplain and I are going to town to buy a Catholic flag and some meat.
She's worried about the cash box.
You could get rid of it.
You might be seen. They have spies everywhere. Why, yesterday, one jumped out of the very hole I was relieving myself in. I was so frightened I nearly burst into prayer. Think how that would have given me away. He was a nasty brute with a patch over one eye.
You shameless little hussy. She went and snitched him because you called her a captivating young person. Stealing your best boots, she at least gets paid for it. You just enjoy strutting like a peacock. Save your proud ways for peacetime.
I don't find her proud.
I like her when people say, I never even noticed her. I like her when she's a stone in Dalarna, where there's nothing but stones. Swiss cheese, leave the cash box where it is and look after your sister. She needs it. You two are more trouble than a bag of fleas.
Not many more days like this when you can sit in the sun in your shirt sleeves. Yeah, the leaves are yellow already. Huh. Oh no, I'm not drinking. I'm thinking. Mother says she can't sleep, which means I should take the cash box away. And I know just the place for it, the mole hole by the river. I can bring it there, and pick it up, later tonight maybe, and then take it to the sergeant. How far can they have fled in 3 days? The sergeant's eyes will pop. You've disappointed me most pleasantly, Swiss cheese, he'll say. I trust you with the cash box, and you bring it back. Yes, Catherine, I think I will have that drink now.
Morning, young lady. Have you seen any staff officer from the 2nd Protestant Regiment?
I don't understand you. Anyway, I'm sorry, I must be going. That's what I decided on.
the chaplain thing. A man with one eye? Here?
That fellow's an informer. They captured Swiss cheese?
Let go of me! I had nothing on me. You're breaking my shoulder. I'm innocent.
This is where he comes from. These are his friends.
Us? Since when?
I was just getting my lunch here. I paid 10 hellers for it. Maybe you saw me on the bench. The food was too salty.
That's right, he got his lunch here and it was too salty.
Are you pretending you don't know him?
Well, I can't know all of them.
He sat there like an honest citizen and never opened his mouth except to eat, which is necessary.
Who do you think you
He's
are?
my bartender. And you must be thirsty, I'll get you a glass of brandy.
No liquor while on duty. You were carrying something. You must have hidden it. We saw the bulge in your shirt.
Are you sure it was him?
I think you mean another fellow. There was a fellow with something under his shirt. I saw him.
I think so too. It's a misunderstanding that happened to anyone. I'm Mother Courage, and I know what people are like, and I can tell you this. He looks honest.
We want the regimental cash box, and we know the looks of the fellow who's been taking care of it. It's you!
No, it's not.
If you don't shell it out, you're dead, see?
Oh, he didn't have to save his own life. He's not that stupid. Speak up, my boy. The sergeant's giving you one last chance.
What if I don't have it?
We'll get it out.
Oh, he'll tell you he's not that stupid, and don't you break his shoulder!
That same evening, the chaplain and Katrin are waiting.
It's a matter of life and death, but the sergeant will still listen to us. Only he mustn't know it's our Swiss cheese, or they'll say we helped him. It's just a matter of money. But where can we get money? Wasn't he back here? I was just talking with her. She's picked up a colonel and says he might buy her a canteen business.
You'd sell the wagon? Everything?
Where else would I get the money for the sergeant?
What are you going to live off?
Well, that's just it.
Dear Mrs. Spearling, we meet again. He didn't say no. This is my friend, my, business advisor. I heard you want to sell your wagon.
I want to pawn it, not sell it. And nothing hasty. You don't find another wagon like this in a hurry.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm not sure I'd be interested. What do you think, dear?
I agree with you, honey bun.
It's only for pawn.
But I thought you had to have the money.
I do have to, but I'd rather run my feet off looking for another offer than just sell. We live off that wagon.
Take it, take it.
My friend thinks I might take it. But you think we should buy it outright, don't you?
Oh, I do, Bunny. I do.
Then you must find one that's for sale.
Yes. We can travel around looking for one. I just love going around traveling, especially with you, Poldy.
Really, do you?
Oh, I just love it. I could take weeks of it.
Oh, really? Could you?
If you got the money, when could you pay it back?
In 2 weeks, maybe one.
I can't make up my mind. Poldy, Shetty, advise me. Don't think she'll have to sell. You know the lieutenant? The blonde one, remember? Well, he's crazy about me. He'll lend me the money. He says I remind him of someone. What do you advise?
Oh, I have to warn you against him. He's no good. He'll only exploit the situation. I told you, Bunny. I told you I'd buy you something. Didn't I tell you that?
Oh, I can't let you.
Oh, please, please.
Well, if you think the lieutenant might exploit the situation,
I do think so.
so you advise me to go ahead?
Oh, I do, Bunny. I do.
My friend says, all right, 200 bills, and I'll need receipts saying the wagon we can mine in 2 weeks with everything in it. I'll look it all over right now. The 200 can wait. You go ahead to the camp. I'll follow.
I'll help you up.
Right.
Come soon, honey bun.
Yvette! There aren't many shoes
Yvette,
left.
this is no time for an inventory. Yours or not yours. You promised to talk to the sergeant about Swiss cheese. His life is at stake. He's up for court-martial 1 hour from now.
I just want to look through these shirts.
You hyena! His life is at stake. And don't you tell him where the money came from. Pretend he's your sweetheart. Or we'll all get it in the neck for helping him.
I arranged to be one eye in the bushes. He must be there by now.
Don't give him the whole 200. 150 should be
You
the trick.
keep your nose out of this. I'm not doing you out of your porridge. Now run, and no haggling. Remember, his life is at stake.
All I meant was, what are we going to live on?
I'm counting on the cash box. At the very least, Swiss cheese will get paid out of it.
But do you think Yvette can manage this?
It's in her interest. If I don't pay the 200, she doesn't get the wagon. And she knows the score. She won't have this colonel on the strings forever. Go clean the knives, Katrin. And don't you just stand around. Go clean some glasses. There'll be 50 cavalrymen here tonight. Yes, I think they'll let us have them. They're men, after all, not wolves, and after money. God is merciful, and men are bribable. That is how his will is done on earth. I don't know about heaven.
Hey, she'll do it for 200 if you make it snappy. He confessed he had the cash box. They put the thumb screws on him. But he said he threw it in the river when he saw them coming at him. Shall I go get the money from my colonel?
The cash box in the river? How will I ever get my 200 now?
You were expecting to get it from the cash box? I would have been sunk. Mother Courage, if you want your Swiss cheese, you'll have to pay.
Now I can't pay the 200. I must hold on to something. Run and tell him I'll pay the 120 or the deal's off. Even at that, I lose my wagon.
Look, One Eye's in a hurry. He keeps looking over his shoulder the whole time. Should I pay the whole
I have her to think of. 25 and still no husband. I know what I'm doing. 120 or no deal.
You know best.
I will pay the 200 if I have to. But with 80 guilders, we could pack the hamper and start over. It wouldn't be the end of the world.
The Bible says, the Lord will provide.
Look, you must rub them dry.
They won't do it! The drums will roll any second now, and that's a sign they've reached a verdict. I even offered 150. He'd even shrug his shoulders.
Run, tell them I'll pay the 200. I believe I haggled too long.
Now you've done it. You're haggling. He got 11 bullets in him. I don't even know why I bother about you. You don't deserve it. But I did happen to hear. They don't really think the cash box is in the river. They think it's here. And they think you were in with him. They're gonna bring his body here to see if you give yourself away. And you better not know him, or else all of us are in for it. And I should tell you straight, they're right behind me. Should I keep Katrin out of this?
She knows. Bring her.
There's a man here we don't know the name of, but he has to be registered to keep the record straight. He bought a meal from you. Look at him. See if you know him. You know him? What? You never saw him before he bought that meal from you? Lift him up. Throw him on the garbage dump. He has no one that knows him.
Mother Courage sings the song of the Great Capitulation. Outside an officer's tent, Mother Courage waits. A regimental clerk looks out of the tent. You want to see the captain? Hey, I know you. You had a Protestant paymaster with you. He was hiding out. Better make no complaints here.
But I'm innocent. And if I give up, it'll look like I have a bad conscience. They cut my wagon to ribbons and then claimed a fine of 5 thalers. For nothing. For less than nothing.
For your own good, keep your mouth shut. We haven't many canteens, so we let you stay in business. Especially you got a bad conscience and have to pay for fine now and then.
I'm going to lodge a complaint.
As you wish. Stay here till the captain is free.
Screw the captain! Where is that son of a bitch? Grabbing my reward, spending it on brandy for his whores! I'll rip his belly open! Shut your hole, you only went it for the stock! I was the only one in the squad who swam the river and he grabbed some money! I can't even buy a beer! Come here, you thief! I'll make lamb chops out of you! Holy Christ, he'll destroy himself! Let me go or I'll cut you down too! Saved the colonel's horse and didn't get a reward. He's young, he hasn't been at it long. Let him go. He doesn't have to be chained like a dog. It's very reasonable to want a reward. Why else should he go to the trouble? He's in there pouring it down. I done something special. I want the reward. Young man, don't yell at me. I have my own problems. Talking will get you nowhere. I won't stand for injustice. How long? How long won't you stand for injustice? 1 hour? Or 2? It's a misery to sit in the stocks. Especially if you wait till then to realize you do stand for injustice. I don't know why I listen to you. Screw that cat. You listen because I'm right. Your anger has calmed down already. It was a short one and you would need a long one. Are you trying to tell me I shouldn't ask for the money? Just the opposite. I'm only saying your anger's a short one. You'll get nowhere with it. If it was a long one, I'd say go ahead, shoot him up. But what's the use if you don't shoot him up? What's the use if you stand there with your tail between your legs? You're quite right. He's crazy. All right! I shoot him up! When he comes out here, I shoot him up!
The captain will be right out. Be seated.
Oh, they know us inside out. Be seated, and we sit. I know better. Let me tell you about the great capitulation. Long, long ago, a green beginner, I thought myself a special case. None of your ordinary run-of-the-mill girls with my looks and my talent and my love of the higher things. I picked a hair out of my dinner and put the waiter in his place. All or nothing. Anyway, never second best. I'm the master of my own fate. I take no orders from no one. Then a little bird whispers. The bird says, wait a year or so, and marching with the band she'd go, keeping in step, now fast, now slow, and piping out her little spiel. Then one day, the battalions will, and she goes down upon her knees to God Almighty, if you please. My friend, before that year was over, I'd learned to drink their cup of tea. You can't hold a good man down. If you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Don't stick your neck out. When they went through with me, moreover, they had me where they wanted me. After all, you must cut your coat according to your cloth. The little bird whispers. The bird says, wait a year or so, and marching with the band we go, keeping in step, now fast, now slow, and piping out our little spiel. Then one day, the battalions will, and she goes down upon her knees to God Almighty, if you please. So stay here, with your gun drawn, if your anger is big enough. If not, you better go. Ah, shove it.
The captain is
free now. You can lodge your complaint.
I've thought better of it. I'm not complaining.
End of Act 1. Poland, Bavaria, Moravia, and again Bavaria. In 1631, General Tilly's victory at Leipzig cost his mother courage 4 shirts. The wagon stands in a war-ruined village. Victory march in the distance. 2 soldiers appear at a serving counter. They are being served by Catherine and Mother Courage, and one of them has a woman's fur coat. You signed up for this. Around his shoulders.
What? You can't pay? No money, no schnapps. If they can play victory marches, they should pay their men.
I want my schnapps. I arrived too late to plunder. The chief allowed only 1 hour for us to plunder the town. He's not inhuman, he says, so I guess they bought him all.
There are people in the farmhouse, a whole family. Help me, someone. I need linen.
I have none. I sold all my bandages to the regiment, and I'm not carrying my officer shirts for these people.
I said I need linen.
Not in your life. They have nothing, and they pay nothing.
Why do you stay there in the line of fire?
Our farm. You think they'd ever let go of anything, and now I'm supposed to pay? Well, I won't.
They're Protestants. Why do they have to be Protestants?
Protestant, Catholic, what do they care? It's their farm they're thinking of. And anyway, they're not Protestants, they're Catholics.
I guess our gun don't know the difference.
My arm's shot.
Where's that linen?
I can't give you any. With all I have to pay out in taxes, duties, bribes, and whatnot. What the heck this minute? Are you out of your mind? I'm giving nothing. My shirts! My officer shirts! No. The shirts sold the house! Hey, grab Catherine. The roof may fall in.
I'm not going back in there.
My officer shirts. Half a guilder apiece. I'm ruined. Never happy till you're dragging babies around. Give it to its mother at once.
The blood's coming through.
And in all this, she's happy as a lark. Stop that music. I don't need music to tell me what victory's like. Come back, you. If you want another victory, you'll have to pay for it.
But I'm broke.
Then leave this. It's stolen goods anyhow.
The Catholic General Tilly is killed before the city of Ingolstadt and is buried in state. Mother Courage gives her views on heroes, and the chaplain sings a song about the duration of the war. Catherine gets the red boots at last. The year is 1631. The interior of a canteen tent. Serving counter can be seen at the rear, and a funeral march in the distance. The chaplain and the clerk are playing checkers. Mother Courage and Catherine are taking inventory.
The funeral procession is just starting out.
So pity about the chief. 22 pair of socks. Getting killed that way? There was a fog over the field that morning. They said the fog was to blame. He'd just been telling his men to fight to the death and was riding back too, safely. When he lost his way in the fog, went forward instead of back, found himself in the thick of
know what he's doing.
Don't you have to be there?
Hey, I stayed away because of the rain.
Oh, it's different for you. The rain might spoil your uniform.
And one schnapps, mine host. Be quick, make haste. Our soldier's got no time to waste. He must be shooting, shooting, shooting. His Kaiser's enemies uprooting. More brandy! Two breasts, my girl. Be quick, make haste. Our soldier's got no time to waste. He must be hating, hating, hating. He must not keep his Kaiser waiting. Make it a double. Today is a holiday.
21st. No, you can't come in here. Not with those boots on. Only officers are allowed in here. Rain or no rain.
Now they're filing past the body.
I feel bad for a fellow like that. When maybe he had something big in mind. Something they'd talk about times to come. Something they'd raise a statue to him for. The conquest of the whole world, for example. He works his hands to the bone. And then the common riff-raff don't support him because all they care about is a jug of beer and a bit of company. Am I right?
You're right, Mother Courage. Till you come to the riffraff. You underestimate them. Take those fellows outside right now, drinking their brandy in the rain. Why, they fight for 100 years, one war after another, necessary two at a time.
Then you don't think the war might end?
Because a commander's dead? Don't be childish. Heroes are cheap.
I wasn't asking just for the sake of argument. I was wondering if I should buy up a lot of supplies. They happen to be cheap right now, but if the war's going to end, I might as well forget it.
There are people who think the war's about to end, but I say, how can you be sure it will ever end? Oh, it may have to pause occasionally for breath, as it were. It may meet with an accident. Nothing on this earth is perfect. One can't think of everything. A little oversight, wars in the hole, and someone's got to pull it out again. That someone is the king, or the emperor, or the pope. But they're such friends in need, this war hasn't got much to worry about. It can look forward to a prosperous future.
I'm sure you're right.
Think it out for yourself. How could the war end?
No, hey, I'm from Bohemia and I'd like to get home every once in a while, so I'm hoping for peace.
Peace?
Yes, peace. How can we live without it?
We don't have to. There's peace even in war. War satisfies all needs, even those of peace. I know a song about that. Does war, my friend, stop you from drinking? Does it not give you bread to chew? To my old-fashioned way of thinking, that much at least a war can do. And even in the thick of slaughter, a soldier feels the amorous itch. A buxom farmer's daughter has lost her virtue in a ditch.
Oh, war!
So when everyone's dead, the war will stop even then, I suppose?
Let me finish. What won't a soldier do in wartime? His savage lust to satisfy. But after all, 'twas said aforetime, be fruitful, lads, and multiply. If you ignore this high injunction, the war will have to stop, my friend. Perform your biologic function, and then the war need never end.
Oh, peace.
Oh, war!
But you admit the war could stop.
You don't know where God lives? Listen. 5, 6, 7, 8. Peacemakers shall the earth inherit. We bless those men of simple worth. War makers have still greater merit. They have inherited the earth. I'll tell you, my good sir, what peace is the whole when all the cheese is gone. And what is war? This is my thesis. It's what the world was founded on.
Oh, peace.
Oh, war!
War's like love. It'll always find a way. Why should it end?
And I will buy up those supplies. I'll take your word on it. She'll go right on waiting for peace. I promised her a husband when peace comes.
The war will go on a bit longer, we'll make a bit more money, then peace will be all the nicer. Now, you go down to the town, it's not a 10 minutes walk, and pick up the things from the Golden Lion. Only the special things, for your trousseau. The rest you can get later in the wagon. The clerk will go with you. You'll be quite safe. Do a good job and don't lose anything. Think of your trousseau.
Hey, where are you going?
Now, you can chop me a bit of firewood.
Strictly speaking, I'm a pastor of souls, not a woodcutter.
But I don't have a soul, and I do need wood.
What's that pipe you've got there?
Just a pipe.
Oh, I think it's a very particular pipe.
Oh,
The cook's pipe? Our Swedish commander's cook.
if you know, why beat about the bush?
I wondered if you knew. It was possible you just rummaged among your things and found some pipe.
How do you know that's not it?
It isn't. You did know.
So what if I did?
Mother Courage, it's my duty to warn you. You're unlikely to see the gentleman again, but that's a blessing. Mother Courage, he did not strike me as trustworthy.
Really, he seemed like such a nice man.
Well, so that's what you call a nice man. I do not. Far be it from me to wish him ill, but I cannot describe him as nice. No, he's a Don Juan, a cunning Don Juan. Look at that pipe if you don't believe me. It tells all.
I see nothing special about this pipe. It's been used, of course.
It's been practically bitten through. Oh, he's a wild man. That is the pipe of a wild man. I told you, the care of souls is my field. In physical labor, my God-given talents find no adequate expression. You haven't heard me preach. Why, I can put such spirit into a regiment with a single sermon that the enemy's a mere flock of sheep to them, and their own lives are no more than a smelly old pair of socks to be instantly discarded at the thought of final victory. God gave me the gift of tongues. I could preach you out of your senses.
But I need my senses. What would I do without them?
Mother Courage, I've often thought that, under a veil of blunt speech, you conceal a heart. You're human. You need warmth.
Best way of warming this tent is to chop plenty of firewood.
Seriously, my dear Courage, I often ask myself, how it would be if our relationship were somewhat more firmly cemented?
The cement's pretty firm already. I cook your meals and you lend a hand at chopping firewood, for instance.
Oh, you know what I mean about a closer relationship. Let your heart speak.
Don't come at me like that with your axe. That'd be too close to a relationship.
This is no laughing matter. I've given it serious thought.
My dear chaplain, be sensible. All I want is for me and mine to get by in this war. Now you chop some firewood and we'll stay warm in the evenings. What's that? Were you attacked? All the way back? It's not serious. Only a flesh wound. They'll bandage it up and you'll be better within a week. Didn't the clerk walk you back? No, that's because you're a good girl. He thought they'd leave you alone. It's okay. It'll never show. There. Now, I have a little present for you. Look, you always wanted them, and now you have them. Put them on before I change my mind. It'll never show. Look, the boots, they kept well. I cleaned them good before I put them away.
I hope she won't be disfigured.
They'll be quite a scar. She needn't wait for peace now.
She didn't let them get any of her things.
I wish I knew what goes on inside her head. She stayed out all night once. Once in all the years. I never did get out of her what happened. And this is war. A nice source of income, I must say.
Our Lord the Commander in his grave. An historic moment.
It's historic to me, all right. She's finished. How would she ever get a husband now? She's crazy about children. Even her dumbness comes from the war. When she was little, a soldier stuck something in her mouth. I'll never see Swiss cheese again. And where my Aleph is, the good Lord knows. Curse the war!
On the highway, the chaplain and Catherine are pulling the wagon. It is dirty and neglected, though new goods are hung around it.
I won't have my war all spoiled for me. Destroys the weak, does it? Well, what does peace do for 'em, huh? So cheer up, boys, the rose is fading. When victory comes, you may be dead. A war is just the same as trading, but not with cheese, with steel and lead. Christians awake, the winter's gone, the snows depart, the dead sleep on, and though you may not long survive, get out of bed and look alive!
In that same year, the Protestant king fell in the Battle of Lutzen. The peace threatens Mother Courage with ruin. Her brave son performs one heroic deed too many and comes to a shameful end. Early morning, out of the woods come an old woman and her son. The son drags a bag of bedding. Mother Courage is inside the wagon.
Must you come at the crack of dawn?
We've been walking all night, 20 miles, and we have to get back today.
What do I want with bed feathers? Take them to the town.
Oh, at least wait till you see them.
There's nothing doing here either. Let's go.
Let them sign away the roof over our heads for taxes. Maybe she'll give us an extra 3 guilders if you throw on this bracelet. Hear that, Mother?
It's Pete! The King of Sweden got killed! Bells? Bells in the middle of the week?
What's that they're shouting?
It's peace!
Peace?
Don't tell me peace is broken out. I've gone and bought all these supplies.
Is it peace?
Yes, the war stopped 3 weeks ago.
Why else would they ring the bells?
A big crowd of Lutherans shut their flags. They got the news.
Peace, Mother! What's the matter?
Catherine! It's peace. Put on your black dress. We're going to church. We owe it to Swiss cheese.
Everything will be all right. Father will get his bed back, and I can get the harness shop going again now. Can you walk? Oh, she never thought that there would be peace, but Father always said there would. We'll be going home.
Get them a schnapps.
Too late, they've gone. And who may this be coming over from camp? Well, if it isn't our Swedish commander's cook. Mother Courage, a visitor.
I promised to come back, remember? For a short conversation. I didn't forget your brandy, Mrs. Fearley.
The commander's cook, after all these years. Where's Aleph?
Isn't he here yet? He went on ahead yesterday. He was on his way here.
Well, I'll be putting my pastor's clothes back on.
Catherine! Aleph's coming. Get the cook a glass of brandy. Oh, pull your scarf over your face and forget it. The cook's no stranger. She won't come out. Peace is nothing to her. It took too long to get here. There's your schnapps.
Dear old Peace.
Dear old Peace has broken my neck. On the chaplain's advice, I went and bought a lot of supplies. Now everyone's leaving and I'm stuck holding the baby.
How could you listen to a windbag like the chaplain? If I had the time, I'd have warned you against him. But the Catholics were too quick for me. Since when did he become the big wheel around here?
He's been lending a hand with the wagon.
I'm telling you a few of his jokes. He has the most unhealthy attitude to women. He's completely unsound.
Oh, and you're completely sound.
And I am completely sound.
Oh, sound. Only one person around here was ever sound, and I never had to slave as I did then. He sewed the blankets off the children's beds in the autumn. You're not recommending yourself to me if you claim to be sound.
Ah, here we are, drinking your famous brandy while the bells of peace do ring.
I don't see where they're going to find this pay that's in arrears. Were your people paid?
Not exactly. That's why we disbanded. Why stay, I said to myself. Why not look up a couple of friends? So here I am.
So in other words, you're broke.
I wish they'd stop that racket. I'd like to set myself in some kind of business.
Pretty good, eh? Just a few mothballs.
I have a bone to pick with you. You advise a lady to buy superfluous goods on the pretext that the war would never end.
What business is that of yours?
It's unprincipled behavior. How dare you interfere with the conduct of other people's businesses?
Who's interfering now, I'd like to know. I was far from suspecting you had to account to this gentleman for everything.
Now don't get excited. The cook was giving his personal opinion. You can hardly deny that your war was a flop.
You are a hyena of the battlefield.
I'm a what? Did you say?
A hyena.
Who insults my girlfriend insults me.
Your intentions are only too transparent. But when I see you take peace between finger and thumb like a snotty old handkerchief, like humanity in me rebels. You want war, do you? Well, remember the proverb, who sups with the devil must use a long spoon.
Remember what one fox said to another that was caught in a trap. If you stay here, you're just asking for trouble. I am not in love with war, Mr. Army Chaplain. And when it comes to calling people hyenas, you and I part company.
Then why all this grumbling about the peace? Is it just for the junk in your wagon?
My goods are not junk. I live off them!
You live off war! Exactly!
As a grown man, you should know better than to run around advising people. And in your situation, you should get rid of certain goods before the prices fall to zero.
That's good advice. I think I'll take it.
That's one up for me. Anyway, Chaplain, cockfights are unbecoming of your cloth.
You don't shut your mouth. I'll murder you. Cloth or no cloth.
Hello, everybody. This is the Mother Courage establishment.
Quite right. With whom have we the pleasure?
I'm Madam Colonel Starnberg, good people. Where's Mother Courage?
Madam Colonel Starnberg to speak with you.
Coming.
It's me, Yvette.
Yvette?
I've come to see how you're getting on.
Peter?
Yvette?
Of all things, how did you get here?
On a cart.
Well, you two know each other? Intimately?
I'll say, you're fat.
For that matter, you're no beanpole.
It's a good thing we've met. Now I can tell you what I think about you, tramp.
Please don't make a scene, Yvette.
Yvette! But why are you in mourning?
Well, doesn't it suit me? My husband, the colonel, died several years ago.
Oh, the old fellow who nearly bought my wagon?
Nah, not him, his older brother.
Glad to see someone who got somewhere in this war.
You promised to give us your opinion of this gentleman.
No, Yvette, don't make a scene.
Oh, he's a friend of mine, Yvette.
He's Peter Piper, that's who.
Got the nicknames?
Peter Piper? The one who turned all the girls' heads? I'll have to sit down. And I've been keeping your pipe for you.
And smoking it.
Lucky I can warn you against this fella. He's a bad lot. You won't find a worse on the whole coast of Flanders. He's got more girls in
That
trouble
was
than...
a long time ago. It's not true anymore.
How I love that man. And the whole time, he was having a little bow-legged brunette. He got her in trouble too, of course.
I seem to have brought you luck.
Speak when you are spoken to, you hoary ruin. And take care, Mother Courage. This kind is bad, even in decay.
I must get rid of these goods before the prices fall.
You miserable cur.
Come with me, I could use your help at the headquarters with your contacts.
Inveterate seducer.
Catherine, church is all off. I'm going to market.
Damnable whore hunter.
When Aleph comes, give him a glass of brandy.
I put an end to your tricks, Peter Piper. And one day, in a better life than this, the Lord God will reward me. Come, Mother Courage.
As our text this morning, the mills of God grind slowly, and you complain of my jokes.
I'll be frank with you. I was hoping for a good hot dinner. And now she'll be getting the wrong picture of me. I think I should leave before she comes back.
I think so too.
Chaplain, peace makes me sick. It's the lot of mankind to perish by fire and sword. Oh, how I wish I was roasting a great fat capon for the commander with mustard and little yellow carrots.
Red cabbage. With capon, red cabbage.
You're right. But he always wanted yellow carrots.
He never understood anything.
You always put plenty away.
Under protest.
But you must admit, those were the days.
Yes, that I might admit.
And now you've called her a hyena. You haven't much future here either. What are you staring at?
Why, it's Aleph. What happened?
Where's my mother?
Gone to the town.
They said she was here. I was allowed a last visit.
Where are you taking him?
For a ride.
What has he done?
He broke in on a family. The wife's dead.
Oh, Aleph, how could you?
It's no different. It's what I did before.
But that was in wartime.
Shut your mouth. Can I sit down till she comes?
No.
It's true. In wartime, they honored him for it. He sat at the commander's right hand. It was bravery. Couldn't we speak with the provost?
What's the use? Stealing cattle from a peasant? What's brave about that?
That was just dumb.
If I'd been dumb, I'd have starved. Smarty.
So you were bright and paid for it.
We must bring Katrin out.
Let her alone. Just give me some brandy.
No.
What shall we tell your mother?
Tell her it was no different. Tell her it was the same. Tell her nothing.
I'll go with you.
I don't need any priest.
You don't know.
What
Yes.
should I tell her? She'll expect to see him.
Tell her he'll be back.
Hi. Won't you come out? It's the cook. Do you have any food in there? She's got a blanket over her head.
The peace is over. The war is on again. Has been for 3 days. The shooting has started in the town already. We must get away. Katrin! What's on your mind?
Nothing.
But there is. I see it in your face.
Aleph was here. Only he had to go away
He
again.
was here? Then we'll see him in the march. I'll be with our side this time. How do you look?
The same.
The war won't get him. He's bright. Is he in good with the captain? Did he tell you of his heroic deeds?
He's done one of them over again.
Tell me about it later. Katrin! The peace is over. The war is on again. We must get away. What is it you do?
I'll enlist.
Where's the chaplain?
In town. With Aleph.
Stay with us a while, cook. I need some help with the wagon.
But this event matter.
Hasn't done you any harm in my eyes. Just the opposite. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You'll come?
I may as well.
The 12th Regiment is underway. Maybe I'll see Aleph before the day's out. Let's go. Up hill, down dale, past dome and steeple, my wagon always moves ahead. The war can care for all its people, so long as there is steel and lead. Though steel and lead are stout supporters, all war needs human beings to report today to your headquarters. If it's to last, this war needs you. Christians awake, the winter's gone, the snows depart, the dead sleep on, and though you may not long survive, get out of bed and look alive!
The religious war has lasted 16 years, and Germany has lost half its inhabitants. Over once blooming countryside, hunger rages, towns are burned down, wolves prowl the empty streets. In the autumn of 1634, we find Mother Courage in the Fichtelgebirge, not far from the road the Swedish army is taking. Business is bad. Only begging remains. Winter has come early and is severe. The cook receives a letter from Utrecht and is sent packing. Early morning, the wagon stands near a ruined parsonage. A gray morning, gusts of wind. Mother Courage and the cook at the wagon in rags.
There are no lights. No one's up.
But it's a parsonage. The parson will have to get out of his feather bed to ring the bells, and then he'll have him some hot soup.
Where will he find it? The whole village is starving.
Maybe we should sing him something.
Anna, I've had enough. A letter came for me from Utrecht. Did I tell you? My mother died of cholera. The inn is mine. Look.
I'm tired of this wandering life. I feel like a butcher's dog taking meat to the customers and getting none myself.
The world is coming to an end.
If only we could find a place where there's no shooting me and my children. What's left of them? We might rest up a while.
Why don't we open this inn together? With you or without you. I'm leaving for Utrecht today. Think over it.
I must tell Catherine. Catherine! The cook and I are thinking of going to Utrecht. His mother's left him an inn. We'd be sure of our dinner and you'd have a bed of your own. What of it?
Anna, I must speak to you. Alone.
Go back in, Catherine.
There's been a misunderstanding. I hoped I wouldn't have to come right out and say it, but if you're bringing her, it's all over.
You want me to leave Catherine
The
behind?
inn isn't big enough. If the two of us stand on our hind legs, we'd be able to earn a living, but three's too many. Give Catherine the wagon.
I was thinking she might find a husband in Utrecht.
At her age, with that scar,
Not so loud.
the customers wouldn't like
Not
it.
so loud, I said.
There's a light in the parsonage. We'd better sing. Worthy Master Parson, and all within, we shall now sing for you the Song of Solomon. Holy Saint Martin and all other good men that came to a bad end. So you know, we're good people too, but have a hard time getting by, especially in winter. Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Mother Courage will now sing for you the Song of the Wise and Good.
You've heard of wise old Solomon. You know his history. He thought so little of this earth. He cursed the hour of his birth, declaring all insanity. How very wise was Solomon. But ere night came, the day
that your last word?
The inn isn't big enough. We'd better go up.
I'll get Catherine.
The parson wouldn't like it if there are three of us. Stick something in your pocket for her.
Going? Oh, so you were listening. I told him, nothing doing. He can have his lousy inn. Oh, you stupid girl. Now what if I'd seen that and you'd been gone? And don't you imagine that I sent him packing on your account? No, it was my wagon. They can't part me from my wagon. Now, we'll put the cook's things where he'll see them. Silly man. You and I are leaving. There. He's fired. The last man I ever take into this business. Get into harness, Catherine. This winter will pass like all the others.
On the highway, Mother Courage and Catherine are pulling the wagon. They come to a prosperous farmhouse where someone inside sings the song of shelter. December 1634. Catholic troops threaten the Protestant town of Hollow. The stones begin to talk. Mother Courage loses a daughter and journeys onward alone. The war is not yet near its end. The wagon, very far gone now, stands near a farmhouse with a straw roof. It is night. Out of the wood come a lieutenant and 3 soldiers in full armor.
And there mustn't be a sound. If anyone yells, cut them down.
But we'll have to knock if we want to guide.
Knocking's a natural noise, it's all right. Could be a cow when it blow up the cow shed.
What's going on?
What is it?
What do you...
There's another. Is this everybody?
This is our daughter.
And that's a girl that can't talk. Her mother's in town buying up stock because all the shopkeepers are selling cheap.
They're canteen people.
I'm warning you. Keep quiet, or you'll have a gun in your mouth. I need somebody to show us the way to the town. You, come here.
I don't know any path.
She don't know any path.
I don't help Catholics.
Show her your gun.
I'd rather die.
She'd rather die.
We'll soon fix this. 2 cows and a bull. Listen, you. If you're going to be reasonable, I'll shoot your cattle.
Not the cattle.
Spare the cattle, Captain, or we'll starve.
She must be
I
stubborn.
think I'll start with the
Do it,
bull.
I'll do it!
Thank you, Captain, forever and ever. I knew the bull came first, all right.
What goes on? Nothing good, I guess.
Maybe they're just scouts. What are you doing?
I'm seeing if they're alone. Things are moving. All over. I see armor and a cannon. There must be more than a regiment. God have mercy on the town and all its people.
Are there lights in the town?
No, they're all asleep. It's an attack. They'll all be slaughtered in their beds.
The watchmen will give warning.
They must have killed the watchman on the hill, or he'd have sounded the horn by now.
There's nothing we can do.
Nothing.
If there were more of us,
But being that we're alone with that cripple,
there's nothing we can do.
nothing,
We could give a sign.
and be cut down for it?
No, you're right. There's nothing we can do. You, even though we can't hear you, he can. Come, pray. I'll help you. Our Father, who art in heaven, hear
Yes,
our
Lord,
prayer.
hear us.
Let not the town perish and all the life within it asleep and fearing nothing.
Yes,
Wake
Lord.
them, that they may go to the walls and see the foe that comes nigh with fire and gun.
Amen.
Wake
Yes,
them.
Lord, wake them.
Wake the watchman and wake our mother-in-law and wake our
Wake
son-in-law.
them.
He has 4 children. Oh, the youngest is
Yes,
only
wake
2
them.
and the eldest is barely 7. God have mercy on all Christian souls, O Lord.
And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. Amen.
Amen. What's she doing?
She's out of her mind!
Get her down from there!
You stop that this instant! You silly cripple!
The soldiers will come if they hear you.
I'll stone you!
Have you no pity? Have you no heart? We have relations there, 4 grandchildren. I told you not to let these swords go apart. What did they care to lose our cattle?
I'll shoot you on base.
We couldn't stop her, so we're innocent.
Where's the ladder?
On the roof!
Throw down that drum. I order you. You're all in this, but you won't live to tell the tale.
They've been cutting down fir trees around here. If we get a good long trunk, we can knock her off the roof.
May I make a suggestion? Listen, you. Everyone in that town is going to get killed. Come down from there, bring us to the town, show us your mother, and we'll spare her.
She won't listen to you. No wonder with your face. Hey, you. Suppose I give you my word. I'm an officer. My word's my bond. Nothing is sacred to her.
Sure as hell knew this in the town. Captain, I have it. This is their wagon. If we smash it, she'll have to come down. It's all they have, Captain.
Do you hear that? If you don't stop that noise, we'll smash up your wagon.
Stop! Stop, you little beast!
Get out your gun.
They couldn't have heard anything. The town would have their cannon.
If you don't stop that noise right now, I'm giving you one last chance. Throw down that drum. Set it up. This is your final warning. Stop that drumming. Fire. So ends that noise.
They heard her. She did it!
Toward morning, the drums and pipes of troops on the march receding. Mother Courage sits with Catherine's body. The peasants from the previous scene look on.
The regiments have all left. No, there's still one to go.
You must latch on to it. You'll never get by alone. Hurry.
Maybe she
cut, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
I'm glad she can sleep now. It's time you realize she's not asleep. She's through.
You must get away. There are wolves in these parts, and the bandits are worse.
That's right.
Have you no one else?
Yes. My son Aleph.
Go find him. Leave her to us.
You needn't worry. We'll give her a proper burial.